Well, folks, this is an eventful time for me, and I don't get a lot of awards. I get a lot of great letters from the people out there, and I really appreciate that. Ina Baker, man, she's a great one. Thank you. Uh, this is something I've gotten in the past couple months, along with the realization that I have been speaking on physical fitness, a passion of mine, for over 50 years. Now, folks, I start thinking about, am I that old? Well, I guess you're as old as you think you are, and I feel like I'm starting a whole new life, and it's exciting. But this is a medal that I got from my alma mater, North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and showing that I was a member of the class of 1975, and then had me write a few things about myself and how wonderful I really was. But I was like a lot of middle, what do you say, midlife students. Well, not midlife, but I went in the University of North Carolina after finishing a tour in Vietnam and 2 years in Japan. And I went there because when I was about 10 years old, I got really impressed with the value of being healthy and being physically fit. But at that time in my life and in this country, there wasn't a lot of positive things allowed to be said about physical fitness. I mean, at that time we were talking about jocks and people who were muscular and love to show how big their arms are and things of that nature. And that wasn't really me because I didn't have any of those things. I lost that battle right up front. But what I fell in love with was reading, and in the reading, I learned a lot about science and the human body, and how the human body was connected with many of the functions that we do in our lives that have a lot to do with how successful we're going to be, how happy we're going to be, all those things related to how the body worked. And so I started reading like crazy. And my dad, fortunately, was a Boy Scout master. And we got a Boy's Life magazine in the mail one day, and it talked about exercise. And it really talked about the health benefits of exercise and things that in the medical community at that time, they wouldn't let you say anything more about exercise than you might be able to feel better just for a little while. But that's about it. Dr. Kenneth Cooper became one of what I think is the most effective promoters of physical fitness in the country. Almost got his medical license pulled when he started promoting aerobic exercise as something that could have some serious health benefit, especially in the area of heart disease, which was our number one killer at the time and still is for that matter. But I went ahead and did what most kids did. I went to school. I wasn't very good at it. At least after about the seventh grade, I didn't score very well because I was a question asker. I was always asking questions, and the teachers, most of them were annoyed at my question asking because they'd be really strange questions. And I won't go into that right now, but you'll hear some of them at some point. I ended up flunking the 11th grade, and because I couldn't try when I couldn't get my questions answered, and it was really a frustrating thing. My parents were incredible disciplinarians when it came to uh, going to going to school and going to church, and I did both those, but I didn't do well at either of those, and I ended up uh, decided I better start studying, and so I started studying uh, my second time through the 10th grade, and found out that I scored well enough on one of the scholastic aptitude tests to qualify for a scholarship. Now, a scholarship to college? Oh my goodness! I mean that would have been a dream. And so I really started studying. And then my teacher saw me studying because I was just about 2 courses behind. And he said, "We're going to give you credit for those courses and let you graduate with your class." And I said, "No, no, no. I can't, I can't win for losing." And and they said, "No, no, we're gonna." They said, I want to go to school for another year and then I can get a scholarship." And they said, "No, no, you're gonna graduate." And they allowed me to graduate, and I went off to Vietnam because my older sister, had gone to the army, and it was a really good experience for her. She spent 10 years in the military and did some great things, and so I decided to do that and ended up going into the military for 4 years, and but still had that passion for exercise. Just didn't know how I would manifest it. And some of you know what I'm talking about. You look out there and you see the field that you want to be in, but you don't see a real good role model of how you think about that field. And that's good because that means you're doing what I did. I was thinking beyond what's happening around me. I want to see what could it be if I decided to get diligent about studying my topic. And my topic was physical fitness for health, not just for sports, not just for athletics, but for health. And so I majored in physical education at the University of North Carolina. And again, it took me a while to get adjusted to the whole school thing because I hadn't been a good student in high school, and I had to pick up those habits in my first year of college. And but the school was very gracious with me and very patient with me, and I got tutors, and we did a lot of good things that really worked. And in my senior year, I still wasn't sure about where I was going to go and how I was going to help get America physically fit. Because we as a nation, in spite of the fact that we probably were spending more money on health and fitness than anybody else in the world, we weren't doing so good. And one of the uh, returns, scholastic returns, that I got exposed to just a few months ago is indicating or suggesting that we rank only 30th in the world in health and fitness, and so correct me if that's wrong. But I don't get it all either, but I thought, well, then what's changed? That's the way it was back in the '60s, or maybe we were even worse. I don't know, but I knew that something needs to happen in order for us to take advantage of one of the great benefits in healthcare or in our lives. And so I want to let you know that what you're looking at is the beginning of a continuation of my career. On October 21st, it marked the 50th year that I've been in the fitness field. And uh, what I was so excited about was looking back on my career and the things I'd done, the papers I'd written, the response I'd gotten from the public. It's just been phenomenal. And so, what I want to do is to just briefly give you a summary of some of the things that we'll be looking at and looking to get your attention and to get your perspective on my way of promoting health and fitness of the American people so that in another 50 years, maybe it'll be you sitting here and letting us know how we're doing. And I pray yeah, that we'll be doing a lot better than we are today. And granted, there are some people somewhere that are not as good as we are, but we're sure not as good as we ought to be with the values that we have and the privileges that we have here in this country. So I want to start with what I'm going to be using as my slogan for this year. And since it's the 50th year, the slogan is Ogie Shaw Fitness, 50 years of fitness wisdom. Now, wisdom to some of you mean this guy's a genius, or he's brilliant, or he's really smart. No, wisdom means you were able to experience some difficult times in fitness, do some things wrong, be able to be humble enough to learn from those difficult things and do some things right as a result of that. So it's a positive response to the good and the bad of humanity, of life itself. And so I'm calling this again, this will be the first year of Fitness Wisdom, or 51st year of Fitness Wisdom as a result of the things that I've learned through physical fitness and doing it. And those of you who know my track record, yes, I'm still doing it absolutely every day. And I'll keep you informed about how that works. But I want to start out with the I'll be giving you just short tidbits. I don't believe in giving long speeches the way I am right now, but I have gotten most of my exposure through giving speeches. But I want to give you the first starting. We'll be doing, I don't know what you call them, proverbs that I've come up with over the years, and then I'll be adding more as time goes on, and hopefully you and I will be communicating enough that you'll be able to help me be more sensitive to saying things that you want to hear about and what I've learned about those things. But as a unit, I'm trusting that together we can grow as a nation, and we will have a whole different fitness record in the country today. But the first, and what I think is the most important proverb, let's call it, that I have come across in my 50 years of fitness wisdom is one that says this: there is nothing that will change your schedule or your financial picture faster than you losing your health. And there's no lasting health without a certain amount and type of exercise.